Hello, my name is Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm an intuitive tarot card reader, and I've got a message today for the water signs. This is for Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So I've changed my format a couple times, and I've been thinking really deeply about what kind of setup and messages are really going to be helpful for you. I don't like tarot card readings that tap into your fear. You know, they're predictive of something bad that's going to happen or something that you need to watch for. And either you're so focused on that it happens and it actually makes it worse, or you just kind of live in this fear. So what I've decided to do is design a completely different reading. What we're going to ask for is what's going on in your environment, what your opportunities for growth are, and then an overall message. So I would really love to hear how you feel about this and if it resonated better for you. I'm always looking to improve and make things more meaningful and helpful to you. So please let me know. All right, we're going to start. So the environment around you, we've got the Six of Pentacles. When this comes up, we are looking at relationships, and we are looking at relationships of dependence. So these are stereotypically parent-child relationships, but it can also be really any relationship where there's not an equal give and take. So this is what's in your environment, which you're going to be challenged to look at this week. And your opportunity for growth, we have the Temperance, which is the blending. So it's where you do not allow one side to be stronger than the other. So both partners, both people engaged in this relationship have their needs met equally and they're held in balance. So we're not saying that you have to compromise yourself and become the other person, or that you have to completely be so set in your ways that you're not open to kind of blending and compromising. This has to do with bringing them together in balance so that you have the strength of your opposites. Each one has something interesting and beautiful to bring to the table, but they come together in wholeness instead of opposition or instead of caving in and just doing what the other person wants. So I've also asked for a message, and this has me thinking that this idea of dependence that we just talked about is actually a pretty deep running one. Let's see, they were this way. I'm going to hide this one till the end. Save the best for last. So for a lot of you, this is going to produce a big shift of belief. Whenever we do not honor ourselves, when we give too much or we take too much, we give too little, take too little, we are betraying ourselves, because we are given the capacity to give unconditionally and to give without restraint. And not, see, this is where it gets tricky. We're not talking about giving with strings attached, which is another way that this card is explained, because strings attached actually cuts off your infinite potential to be connected with your life force, and that is one of unconditional love. So every time you do something that has to do with conditions, conditional love, you're actually cutting yourself off from your own sustainable joy and passion. And so for some of you, this is going to hit you this week. All of the times where you've betrayed yourself and not stood up for yourself and not fully given. You've been afraid to give. You haven't wanted to give more to other people because in the past that's drained you. And so you kind of stopped yourself from doing that. And this is good though. We come to a point where you just are like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with this process because it has me feeling so sad. And you dive deep down to the bottom of yourself and you say, okay, who am I? And this is so cool. What emerges is your passion, your heart. This is that giving unconditionally, the warmth of your heart. And your heart is so excited to do this because that's what they were meant to do. Hearts are meant to beat, and that it produces a sound, but also a release of pressure that sends the fluid going through your body. It allows your lungs to take in air. Hearts aren't meant to be still. They're meant to move, and this causes an expansion. So at the bottom of all of this, you become again reborn and whole with your heart. So kind of a lot of deep messages here, a lot of big messages, which is not surprising for you water signs. But keep in mind that these relationships that are not quite equal, where your giving is conditional, it is a chance for you to learn how to grow out of that and come back in touch with that unconditional, unquenchable source of unconditional giving. So Please let me know how this worked for you, if this was a helpful format. Would love to hear from you. Also, please subscribe if you haven't so far. I do these readings every week, and they are totally for your benefit. If you're curious to learn more about tarot reading and how it works and all that stuff, check out my website below. I do have some availability and would love to help you out more specifically. I will see you next week. Bye.